pulled up in my van. It must have been, I don't even remember when he passed now, but it was early 80s. I drove down there in my van, and my father told me, "Sonny, go knock on the door." He wouldn't get out the truck. So I got out the van, I went around and I knocked on the door, and he didn't answer, he didn't say nothing. So the door, all he had to do was push it, it came open. So I pushed it, I hollered, Mr. Bud, it's me, Mr. Bud. Then my father got out the truck, and he was still standing by the truck. I said, Mr. Bud, it's me. So I went to his bedroom door, and there he was, laying on the bed with a shotgun. A double barrel shotgun, 12 gauge, laying there. And he said, "Oh boy, come on in. He laid the shotgun down. So my father finally came in. We went and sat down with him. So we got over there, and my father was telling, and then here's what he did. He had a live stove burning, one of them wood burning stoves. And he took his socks off, put his feet up to the fire, and I figured he was getting warm. Then he took a squeeze bottle and squeezed kerosene on his feet right up to the fire. I said, my goodness, he's dangerous. So, I guess his feet must have been itching or something. So he did that. And my father said, we got to get him out of here. He can't stay here by himself like this. So I said, okay. So my father said, I think he got a gun in his pocket. So my father worked his way over there, and he talked to him and everything. Then he said, Mr. Bud, let me have your pistol. My grandfather said, "Oh, you know I got this little old piece of thing." He had a .22 pistol. One of them 6-shot pistol, short thing.
It was just you and Uncle John?
Me and my father, yeah.
Okay.
Went down there to get him. And so we told him, I said, Mr. Bud, we got to go back, because I got to go back to work Monday. And we went down there on a Friday. And it took us 14 hours to get there. So after we got there, and we went through all of that, my father said, we got to get him out of here. We can't just come and see about him. So we started setting up his stuff, and Auntie Johnny Mae came over, and she said, well, I'll handle everything here. I'll handle his business here if y'all going to take him with you. And she said, here's some of his business papers that he'll need, his ID and this, that, and other. So she gave us all that stuff, and we went to get ready to go, and he says, no, I ain't going nowhere. And so he sat in the chair. So my father, who had got the gun away from him, got kind of bold then. He said, well, just tie him to the chair. So we tied him to the rocking chair. So we tied him to the chair, and between me and my father, we picked him up and put him in the van. Now, we hadn't had no sleep or nothing since we got down there. So we got him in the van, and he laughed. He said, why is your boys doing it? He said, some white folks put y'all up to this. That's what it is. Some white folks put you up to it. He said, well, you can kill me, but you can't eat me. You can kill me, but you can't. He kept saying that. So we got him in the van, and Auntie Johnny Mae said she would handle all his business down there. So we got him in the van. We got a few clothes with him, and we started up the road. So I'm driving. My father over here, and he half asleep, nodding, because neither one of us had any sleep. And I'm driving, and my father woke up, and he looked back there, and Mr. Bud had a pocket knife going at them ropes, and he was steady going and laughing. So when my father saw that, he said, he got a knife, I pulled over on the side of the road, and my father jumped back there, and they wrestled a little bit with the knife, and he got the knife away from him, and he still started laughing. He said, you can kill me, but you can't eat me. He said, it's a pretty nice truck you got here, boy. He said, it rides good. And he was, he chuckled to himself. Then we got all the way to Youngstown, and he was okay for a day or two. Then he started getting restless. He'd walk out to the end of the driveway, and he'd look, and he'd say, how far is it to Kosciuszko? How far is it to Durant? I got to get over there. I might have a job over there. That kind of stuff. So he went and asked somebody where the bus station was. And they told him to go straight down. At that time, Foster went all the way through. He says, just keep walking all the way down Foster, and you'll probably run into it. But Foster was a block away from it. So he went down Foster, and he was walking down Federal Street, you know. And he walked into the bus station. And he did have a butter knife. He says, I need a ticket to Kosciuszko. And the guy says, I don't know nothing about it or something. And Mr. Bud whooped out the butter knife, says, I need a ride to Kosciuszko. And the guy says, I'm calling security. So Mr. Bud walked out. He walked out, and when I drove down there, that's where he was, standing outside. Boy, where you been? I need to get over to Kosciuszko. I might have a job over there. So then I took him back to the house and got him situated, but he was still itchy. He wanted to get up and go because he thought he might have a job over there because it was that time of year. The apples had come, started falling off the trees and stuff. So I guess he knew something about that season down south.